The government moves to cut down the country's dependence on fossil fuels and become more energy sufficient.
If the electricity amendment bill is passed in the House of Assembly, people using renewable energy will tie into the grid and be regulated.
Janelle Ferguson was in the House of Assembly as debate kicked off.
Parliamentarians are hopeful that the enactment of the Electricity Amendment Bill, currently being debated in the House of Assembly, will have a long-term impact on energy production in the country. MP for East Grand Bahama, Peter Turnquest, believes energy producers should fall under an independent regulator. He is, however, anticipating the impact a bill like this one can have on Grand Bahama.
I trust that this amendment and the policies to accompany it will extend to Freeport and the entire island of Grand Bahama so that residents will be able to legally take advantage of alternative sources of energy. We must do all that we can to lower the cost of energy so that Grand Bahamians can regain their quality of life and aid in the recovery of a desperate economy.
However, Minister of Grand Bahama Michael Darville believes that Grand Bahama residents will not be included in the new bill because of what is prescribed in the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. He urged the principals of the Grand Bahama Port Authority to seriously consider renewable energy sources.
That these companies, if they are allowed to use alternative forms of energy, to have a mechanism in place for some form of self-generation and to be able to tie into the grid, this will help our environment because we will definitely be burning cleaner fuels, and we will also be able to reduce the cost of electricity, thus attracting more direct foreign investment in light manufacturing, logistics, and heavy industry in the industrial sector of Grand Bahama.
Meanwhile, during Wednesday's debate, Minister of Education Jerome Fitzgerald explained how the tie-in grid connection system will work for consumers.
That once you produce electricity, you will not get money in return for the production, but there will be a meter which will read the amount of electricity you're putting onto the grid. That amount of electricity that you produce will be given a value. That value will be deducted from your electricity bill.
Also contributing to the bill were MP for Fox Hill Fred Mitchell, Central Grand Bahama MP Nico Grant, and North Eleuthera MP Theo Neely. Janelle Ferguson, ZNS Network News.